Good morning, English 11 Honors, and we are ready for comma rule number 5 today. We've done the first 4 comma rules, and so we're to this last one today, and it is about using commas to link incomplete ideas to complete ideas. So basically, those introductory words, phrases, or clauses that come at the beginning of the sentence, we're going to put a comma after those. And those words, phrases, clauses are not complete ideas in themselves. So let's look at a few examples. So we have, in the first round of golf, I played against one of the best golfers in the state. So we have 2 prepositional phrases here at the beginning of the sentence in the first round and of golf. So we are going to put our comma after golf. So when we have those introductory prepositional phrases, we're going to set those off from the rest of the sentence. Now, this next sentence, after dinner I locked my keys in the car, again we have a prepositional phrase at the beginning, and I would like for you to put a comma after that, even though it's short. Now, there are some style books for writing and some teachers who will tell you that that when it's only 2 words, you don't need to put a comma, like in 2021. Things that are really short like that it's not necessary for you to do it. And that is true. It would not be wrong to not put the comma. However, I would like you to be in the practice of doing that after introductory words, phrases, and clauses, just because it helps you get that consistency. And then also for the ACT, just using those commas regularly in the right way. Another example is when we have a dependent clause at the beginning of the sentence. So when I actually listen, I'm able to follow directions perfectly. So we have, when I actually listen, here is our dependent clause. So it has a subject and a verb, I listen, but when is that red flag word telling us that it's not a complete idea. So we are going to separate that from the rest of the sentence, from our main complete idea, our independent clause, I'm able to follow directions perfectly. So this is a very usual example of dependent clauses at the beginning. If your dependent clause comes at the end of the sentence, though, if we reverse the order of the sentence, we do not need a comma. So it's only when they are introductory at the beginning of the sentence. So if we flipped it and we said, I am able to follow directions perfectly when I actually listen, that sentence does not need a comma. We have our independent clause, our complete idea here at the beginning, then we have that dependent clause at the end, and when it trails at the end like that, it does not need a comma. Okay, another one here that's a different kind of phrase at the beginning. In order to teach English effectively, a teacher must develop innovative ways to communicate. So we actually have a verbal phrase here, to teach. Teach looks like it's a verb, but it's not acting like one in this sense. So in order to teach effectively is that introductory phrase, and so we're going to put we're going to put a comma after effectively. Great. Then I also want to show you some examples of when you just have one word that is introductory at the beginning. We're still going to put a comma there. So yes, I heard your question. Could be no, could be well. Other interjections that we're not saying with excitement to where we would use an exclamation point. So if we're just saying, hey, you want to come eat lunch with me? So after hey, there would be a comma. Hello, how are you today? So hello, we're not, jumping up and down while we're saying it. We're not as excited. We're just going to put a comma after those introductory words like that. Exhausted, the runners took a break. Okay, so in this example, exhausted is describing the runners. Okay, it's modifying them. So we could, the sentence could have been written, the exhausted runners took a break. Okay, so this is just a way to show you varying sentence structure, like using different ways to make your sentence. And in this way, it kind of emphasizes the exhaustion part, okay? So instead of just the exhausted runners took a break, we're saying exhausted, the runners took a break. So it puts that emphasis more on exhausted. So again, just another way to create variety in your sentences. So in this case, we are going to put that comma after exhausted because it is that introductory word at the beginning. And you'll notice here, when we start with exhausted, that modifying adjective, it is going to be closest in location to that noun that it's describing, okay? Runners, there is no other noun in this sentence, but if there was, you would want exhausted to be as closely located to runners as you could make it so that it's not confusing for the reader. As in our next sentence here, okay, we already have the comma, and that part is not the issue, but if we read the sentence, cracking and eating the seeds from the bird feeder, we enjoyed watching the playful cardinals. From what we just talked about, we have this modifying phrase here, okay? It is closest to we, okay, which is a pronoun, so noun or pronoun that it's closest to. We are not the ones cracking and eating the seeds, okay? The cardinals are doing that. And so this is called a misplaced modifier. It is not in the correct place in the sentence. Sometimes there are also dangling modifiers where the thing that it's really talking about is not even in the sentence. Okay, so we want to make sure as writers that we are correcting those things and making it clear for our reader. So the easiest way, that would be a misplaced modifier, the easiest way to correct this is just to flip the sentence. Because cardinals was at the end here, we want to put this modifying phrase after it. So we enjoyed watching the playful cardinals cracking and eating the seeds from the bird feeder. Okay, and that we're putting that comma after cardinals here because that is like a non-essential extra information, which was kind of our rule number 4. But I wanted you to see this today because at the beginning, I mean, if we had cracking and eating the seeds from the bird feeder and the cardinals was our subject, we would want that introductory comma here. But it's just a misplaced modifier. It is not describing we. And so we would want to flip the sentence there. Okay, so basically just those introductory words that could be like interjections, but don't have as strong a feeling. You have prepositional phrases, things that start with in, on, at, above, all of those prepositional phrases that have a noun that comes after them, like the ones that we saw back here. So after dinner, in the first round of golf, those kinds of things. Put commas after those, and then these dependent clauses that come at the beginning. We want to put a comma after those to start us out. So there will be a Google form in our week 9 folder. And if you can go do that graded practice, I would appreciate it, and we'll see where you're at. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.